Hey everybody, this is Pat Landis from the Miller Street Barn Band. We're here to tell you a little bit about what we play with to practice.
You
Fuck
fucked
you.
up!
Fuck you!
Just
Hey everybody, this is Pat Landis from the Miller Street Barn Band. We're here to tell you a little bit about what we practice with when we're in our studio. As you can see, this is our studio. Very professional. That's Andy Kavanaugh. You. James Anderson.
Ew.
So James, tell me a little bit about this keyboard you got in front of you.
So Pat, I gotta correct you. It's not a keyboard at all. It is
really?
a synthesizer. It's called the Microkorg. It's very small, but it's about as powerful a synthesizer as you could want.
It looks small. Does it do many octaves?
Oh, it can do. So here's the thing.
Sizes and everything. Right?
Andy knows. Andy knows personally sizes and everything. Let him convince you otherwise. but take a look at this. What do we have?
Okay.
Three octaves? Not even 3 octaves. But there's an octave shift on the keyboard so that you can reach plus or minus 3 on either side of what's built into the synthesizer. So
that's a lot of range right there.
So you have the range of a full size, grand piano. But also the cool thing about the Microkorg is it has 128 built-in voices, which you can control using this central pad here. You control which kind of sound you want. Do you want trance, techno, retro? Do you want a hip hop sound? All kinds of things.
Do you find you use the hip hop preset a lot?
I occasionally do, surprisingly. Yeah, there's a clean little hip hop sound. I want to say it's A54. No, I take that back. It's not A54. Here we go. It's A53 on the hip hop group, which is like a clean sound that gives you something like this.
Ooh.
Something like
Sick.
that. Andy's complaining that was a little too
crazy loud.
high pitched.
Oh man, that like cut through my head.
Yeah, so that's just one sound you can get.
The Tupac.
Another sound
Come on.
I'll commonly use is something like I don't know, what's I'm trying to think of a song we would use this for. That's a little Charles Mingus. We don't play much Mingus with the Miller Street Barn Band, but he's an artist who you could use this voice for if you wanted to.
Cool. Is that the voice you use most often?
I use it a lot, probably, as Pat and Andy know. But there's another, and these are all just, this is not even messing with the whole extra component of the Microkorg where you can alter every attribute of the sound. This is just using the pre-built-in voices. But for example, you could also go for like a classic organ sound.
I'll recognize that too.
So, yeah, there you go. That's the
Very
Microkorg.
cool.
You can get all kinds of sounds out of that.
So what do you? Obviously, this doesn't have any built-in speakers. What do you run into to hear it?
I'm using my Roland amp over there, which I got from. I found it randomly in my fraternity house. Nobody wanted it, and I saw this is a really nice looking, piece of equipment. So I'll just take it. Nobody's gonna use it.
So it looks like 110 or 12 with a tweeter.
Sure.
Well, that's 4 inputs on the back. We know that.
Yes, I'll agree with that. But yeah, it's nice. It gives a nice huge sound,
So what made you choose a synth over, say, something like an electric keyboard?
So I have a full-size electric keyboard with weighted keys that are textured to feel like an actual piano, an actual grand piano. So I use that very frequently with the Miller Street Barn Band. I live in Boston. All the rest of the guys live in Middleborough. So when I'm coming out to jam with them, I bring my microKORG because you can see, very portable, but also very powerful. So it's a lot easier to schlep all the way from Boston.
Excellent, man.
But when we're playing gigs, I got this and my keyboard, and I play sax primarily, actually. So these are just kind of, I use them for some songs when we need when we need keys, but mostly sax guy, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to you for a little bit of sax.
I'm always down for some consensual sax.
We're sitting here with Andy Kavanaugh. Andy, what do you play?
What?
James, you're a madman. I play guitar and I sing.
All right, tell us a little bit about your guitar rig.
My guitar, I got it about a year ago. Me and my uncle went to New Bedford and went to a pawn shop, and some junkie traded this in for money, and I got it for cheap.
His addiction is your game.
Exactly.
Assumed addiction.
It is a Masada. It's the first time I'd heard of them. I looked them up. It's all right.
Les Paul style guitar. What do you like about a Les Paul style guitar as compared to, say, a Strat?
Honestly, it's the humbuckers.
Yeah.
The Strat's got way too much going on.
All right. What about humbuckers? Do you like it? I know it's
It
hard.
bucks the
It's
hum,
hard to
man.
quantify.
It bucks the hum. It gets rid of that hum.
Got you. All right. So it's a 2 humbucker Les Paul style guitar. Masada, you said?
A Masada.
Masada. Is that a fixed neck, a bolt-on?
It's fixed. Alright, no, it's bolt. Yeah. It is bolt.
Okay. Cool, man. What kind of strings do you use?
I got 10s.
10s? Any specific brand or?
I just bought like a big old 5-pack of like a mixed. Right now I'm like halfway between it.
Okay.
I think last was Dario.
Nice. Yeah, I've used those on my guitar from time to time. They're nice. So have you noticed?
That's not true at all. Last one was these Slinkies. Yeah, the balls.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I've noticed those Ernie balls on your desk over there. Have you noticed any difference, like tonally, between, say, Ernie balls and Diodarios, or?
Honestly, not really.
No.
No. I used to use, back when I was in high school, I'd use the heavy bottom and light tops. Back when I was really into ska. Because you could play like a nice heavy bass line, but keep the top real light. But now that I'm more into rock and roll and blues, you gotta have a heavier top string or else you just tear it out.
Right, and we all know how often you break strings.
I've done that.
Well, excellent, man. Are you using any kind of pedals or effects in between that and the amp?
I got one treble booster, the Bohemian, just so when I got a solo, I can be louder than you bastards.
Very bright LED you got up there.
So you know.
That's high tech, right?
I was gonna say it's got 2 settings.
We get a good.
It's got the blue setting and the color setting.
It's got loudening, and it's got how much treble is coming through in the mix.
Okay.
So I got the treble fucking cranked.
Why a treble booster as compared to, say, a distortion booster or a tube scream or anything that might add gain to your sound?
I like a cleaner sound. You know, I only use like the tiniest bit of overdrive.
Let's talk
on
about
my
your
amp
amp,
anyways.
Oh, wow. The lighting is fantastic over here. Let me see if I can move out of the way to get a little bit of lighting on this thing. Nice. So tell me a little bit about your amp.
Well, this is the first amp I've ever owned. I bought it with my first guitar. It was supposed to be a Fender. I was supposed to grab like one of the Strat like starter packs or whatever, but I grabbed one and somebody had broken the whammy bar off inside the setting and just threw the whammy bar back in and returned it. So they were like, oh shit, we don't even have any of these amps. You can have a crate, I guess. So they gave me the equivalent in a crate, and then like they gave me a bullet instead of a Strat.
Cool. Is it? How many watts are you running?
10.
10 watts.
Big old 10.
Oh, sounds loud for our practice space, I'll tell you. Crate.
A big old 10-inch.
What's it look like? About a 5-inch speaker in there?
Probably. I've never looked. You can't see. It's closed back.
That's an interesting pick you got here. Let's see if I can get a. Do not be alarmed by the size of the thing near your screen.
1.14 millimeters. Over a millimeter thick.
So these are pretty sizable picks. Why the purple Dunlops, or why heavy picks as compared to say a light pick?
You get more power out of it when you get like a. No, it's not on. But like something like a. And it's easier, I find, to do like an individual picking in between a strum with a heavier pick. I don't know.
It's all a matter of preference, I
Yeah,
imagine.
it's my feel. If I feel the pick like bending at the string, it throws me off.
I hear that. Feel good, play good.
Yeah.
Okay, Pat. So tell us what kind of guitar are you playing there?
This is an Epiphone Les Paul. Actually, it's a made in Korea Epiphone. It's, yeah, actually, it's pretty damn cool.
Have you had it for a while?
Yeah, I've had it for 2 years. All mahogany neck and body. Flame maple tops, actually real maple, not a veneer, which I think is pretty darn cool.
It's pretty sexy.
And yeah, about a year ago. Thank you. I got it, like I said, I got it about 2 years ago. Made some changes to it in the meantime. But,
What kind of changes did you make?
well, I dropped these pickups in it about a year and a half ago, right before I started playing with you guys. So yeah, this is shut that up real quick. This is a P90, a Gibson P90. It's a little bit stringier, more single coily. It definitely gives me more of a. Let's see if I can demonstrate.
Please.
It's less powerful than say a humbucker, not necessarily as bass heavy and rounded, and it does have. You can actually hear a little bit of that hum. I have a noise suppressor down here, so you can't really hear that. So it definitely does have a little bit of that hum.
Okay.
As compared to humbucker.
Do you often modify your guitars?
You know, this is really kind of the first one I did any serious work on. I've messed around with them before. I have a Schecter that has a coil cancel, like kind of push pull pot like this one here. That's good.
Did you just tear that thing off?
Tear
We'll just edit that out, folks.
right? Well, fix it in post. Fix it in post.
And cut.
What was the question?
So I was asking, do you often modify your guitars, Pat?
Yeah, no, this one I have a little bit. I put the humbuckers in, or I put a P90 in a humbucker, and this is just a Seymour Duncan.
Yeah, those bucking hums.
Gotta buck them homes. Yeah, man, and so I have another, like I said, I have a Schecter that I put a kind of a coil split pot in there.
So what's one of your
Similar to this
what's
one.
one of your favorite solos to play in guitar?
One of my favorite solos. Oh boy.
Can you give us a little demo?
Give you a demo of a. Sure, man. I mean,
The fans are aching for a little Pat right now. Give us some of your sweet music.
it's for the first.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a little bit of something.
That was pretty sexy right there.
If I kick this thing on. Let's see if that does us any better. That's something.
There we go.
That sure is something.
Pat, why don't you show us your pedal board here?
Okay.
What do we have down here? What are we working with?
So this is pretty stripped.
Show me what you working with.
Show me what you got.
Show me what you
Oh, if you insist.
Rick and Morty fans out there, show us what you got.
This is a pretty basic setup. This is what I bring out to practice and mostly to gigs for this band. I don't really use a lot of effects.
Oh, look at this! I'm doing a zoom. This is pretty fancy right now.
Oh, look at what? You
James
can do
is
that?
getting swifty.
I'm getting swifty. I'll open your face.
You can do that?
Okay, in case we're recutting, here's Pat's pedal board. Pat, why don't you tell us about your pedal board?
It's fucking boss.
Aha!
There is a lot of boss on this board. You're
Andy
right.
made a joke.
They make some pretty sweet pedals, I'm not going to lie.
Pat, tell us about your boss pedal.
Well, I have two, actually. This one's actually probably the most integral of the entire, integral, whatever the word is, of this whole board. This is a NS2 noise suppressor from Boss. And it's actually right now working as a mute.
Oh, there you go.
Because, I do a lot of singing in the band, and sometimes it's good to turn off, and if you want to tune.
Turn off for what?
Just turn off the sound.
No, I was
Turn down for
making
nothing,
them
but turn
funny.
off to tune.
I was just joking.
It wasn't that funny, James.
So this is like a Fender tuner. I've
Okay.
had those part of my own starter pack
That's good.
a while back. Yeah, right.
I always want to be in the tune.
Yeah, it's pretty necessary. So this, like I was saying, this noise suppressor is running as a mute right now. It kind of reduces some of the hum when I'm not playing, but most importantly, is actually the power brick for the entire board. So everything you see here, except for this DOD, is being run off of this. So I can kind of plug in one power supply and it daisy chains out to the whole board. I'm not changing 9 volts all day. That was huge when I got that.
I see.
This is reverb machine.
Reverb.
Behringer reverb machine, which actually doesn't turn off. There we go. Yeah, I never turn it off anyway.
Gotta love that reverb.
Oh, I love reverb. It's a huge part of my sound. I honestly can't. I have a hard time connecting with the music without
Very
some
seldom.
context
Yeah.
to put it in. It really
Yeah.
just adds a depth and a character to what you're doing. And
I almost never have said to myself that's too much reverb. I'll take as much reverb as possible.
right. And you can see actually if you
I've heard that about you.
if you get real close, if you get real tight on the board, you can actually see.
Andy Kavanaugh, folks! There he is! Look at that face! Oh, what a darling. Okay, back to Pat over here. Pat, tell us more about your, sorry, I'm a little bit zoomed in right now. Tell us more. We got a close-up on your face right now. It's excellent. Okay, here we go. Pat, tell us more about your pedal board. You just told us about your reverb pedal.
Okay.
What else are you working with?
These are the last two on the board here. It's overdrive DOD 250 preamp. It's just a little bit of gain. I don't have it really dimed out right now. It's more of a clean boost than anything else, like Andy was talking about. It definitely does compress the sound a little bit coming through this Marshall, and it definitely just helps me get out front a little bit without really changing the character of the tone of the song that we're going for. This is a PH3 phase shifter, which actually isn't in the loop right now. There's something going on with the input earlier today, so I gotta hopefully just tighten a few nuts and bolts, and hopefully that'll work pretty good because I love this thing. I don't play it as a say Eddie Van Halen, who's well known for his Phase 90 and stuff, but I like it. It adds a little bit of color, just a little bit of shimmer, something, to spice up some parts that might otherwise be dry.
So a lot of guitarists will just buy their pedal board from Guitar Center, but how did you come upon yours?
Great question. Well, so the Fender I got in the tuner I got in my own starter pack with my my Squier HSS Strat, all black, very punk rock. So obviously punk rock, I barely use the thing, and it served me well since because I only just recently started using it. But that's you gotta have a tuner, or you gotta have some way to be in tune with the band.
Yep.
So sparkly.
But I guess what I was getting at is you built your pedal board yourself, didn't you?
Oh, the actual wood.
actual board.
The actual board. No, yeah. The actually, it's a funny story. The top part of the board is a flowered pot holder.
Oh boy.
You can buy them at Lowe's at like $10-12 or something like that, and they come with little casters on the bottom of it. And this one just happened to be perfect for spacing out, say, 3 or 4 pedals. And so I threw a rail on the bottom of it. Oh, some strapping from when it was actually a 4x8 or 2x8. Looks like a 2x8. When I was redoing my porch this summer. When I was redoing my porch, and so I just ripped this down, screwed it onto the bottom, and it seemed to be working pretty well. Except for sometimes the Velcro is
inadequate. For you kids at home, you want a 4x8? Is that
2x8?
2x8. 2x8. Go to Home Depot, get yourself a 2x8.
Right.
Build yourself a pedal board.
Right. Exactly. And a pot holder.
And a pot holder.
Not one that you use in like the kitchen. The one that you use in like the deck.
Yep.
At your mom's house. And so, threw some Velcro on there. That was easy enough to come by. Surprisingly expensive. Of all the things on this board, the Velcro is the most expensive. And I still have a lot more to lay down.
Say what?
Bones. Yeah. Right.
So Pat, anything else you want to tell us about?
Yeah, my amp is 10 watt Marshall MG-CD solid state.
Let's zoom in on that. Got some high technology right here.
Right.
Zoom in
It's
on this.
actually a 4-inch speaker.
4-inch.
So it's got some powerful bottom end.
Wow.
Single tone control for the contour. It's big old mid control. That's about it. It does Marshall really well. And my guitar is in tune. Trying to get say a more subtle tone out of it's a little tough. The gain control goes from about 0 to 100 in half a click. It's
takes a delicate touch.
You can't be delicate enough. You just got to accept that it's gainy, and but it's it works. It works for me as a practice rig at least.
Yeah, there we go. Andy, you want to tell us? Are there any fish still living in that fish tank down there?
Nope.
It's all dead. That's
they're all gone.
That's a fish graveyard.
They clocked out late last year.
We're getting
probably December.
We're getting dark now.
There's nothing living in that tank. Just a bunch of dead fish.
Now, James.
Yes, Andy.
I know there are several classes of saxophone. Could you please explain to me which one this is, what key it is?
Sure. This is an E-flat alto saxophone. It's a Yamaha model. It's actually a student saxophone, but I get quite a range of sound out of it, I'd like to think. Alto saxophones are kind of on the higher register of tones you can get from saxophones. It goes soprano, well, technically sopranino, soprano.
I've never heard of sopranino.
Nobody's
making it up.
Nobody who's serious about saxophone plays a sopranino. You just get out of here. But sopranino, soprano. We got alto, tenor, baritone, contrabass if you're insane. But nobody plays contrabass.
I'd say soprano is like the Kenny G.
Kenny G. But we don't talk about Kenny G. Andy's gonna get 40 lashes for having even mentioned his name.
I kind of like Kenny G.
You know what, Pat?
Oh,
You're out of the band.
You get 80 lashes.
80 lashes.
All right, but I'm gonna play.
You a good time.
I'm gonna play a little solo for you guys now.
I'm gonna put on the spotlight.
Oh wow. Okay.
James, you sometimes feel like people are watching you.
You know? Sometimes they do.
Pat, I can see you in the mirror. No, not anymore. James stepped in front. Nope, now I can't. It's creepy.
It's a little alto sax for the folks back home.
Yeah, I was alright.
There you go. I don't know what else
So
to tell you.
how many octaves could you get out of that sax?
Well, 2.5 basically. Yeah, 2.5. Unless you want to play false notes, and then you could get almost 3 octaves.
So how low does it go?
How low does it go? B flat, technically. I think.
Is that in concert or in your
Uh,
transposed?
So in my crazy transposed like E flat key,
Okay.
which I guess would be C sharp for the rest of you C instrument playing folk, crazy guitarists and bass players and
Represent.
pianists.
Euphonium.
I can try to get down to a B flat, but as I said, this is student saxophone, so I don't know. I'll chalk up any flubs to the instrument. which is about here.
Okay.
There's that B flat / your C sharp. And anyway, this is it. This is my saxophone. You know, she's treated me well over the past few years. You know,
It's been a while.
it's been a long time. You know, I'm actually considering getting myself a tenor saxophone sometime soon.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we do a Miller Street Band update, I'll have a tenor saxophone to show off to you guys. We'll see.
Let's say you played tenor in
In the
Bay
South
bands,
Shore
right?
Bay Band of Duxbury, Massachusetts. Check them out. They tour every summer on the South Shore.
Hey, no cross promotion.
If you're hankering for a good parade band,
Nah, honestly, if you're just a student, you want free money.
yeah, really. But actually,
They have scholarship for like music students.
Excellent. South Shore Bay Band.
South Shore Bay Band, Duxbury, Mass.
Wish I was talented enough.
Haha.
But yeah, so this
I own a guitar.
So that's Pat. That's James. This is Andy. That's the cave.
So that's been our rig rundown of the Miller Street Barn Band. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it.
Hey!
Please check out any other videos.
Can we cut back?
Sure. So that's our rig rundown of the Miller Street Barn Band. I've been Pat Landis.
Andy.
And I'm James.
Thanks a lot for watching. Like helps a lot. Comment, subscribe, get that out of my face. Comment, and tell us what you play or what we could maybe do with our equipment. What we should buy next. Tenor sax. Do you want to do alto? Should James play a contra sax? Should he? Shouldn't he?
Just play the what the hell was that wicked high one?
Sopranino.
The Sopranino sax.
Sopranino.
What is that?
You heard it here first.
Is that like
Sopranino
a
sax
sax?
coming up for the Miller Street Barn
It's
Band.
like a
On that
it's like a
bombshell.
miniature soprano sax.
Take it easy.